We've got a hack. We've got a hack. How to find ultra motivated sellers in this property market. We've got the best way for you. Stay tuned. So, Mr. Michael Silic, I was with Lisa Novak yesterday, and I said to her, whenever an agent does a live auction for a property and it does not sell, they delete the live auction and they don't broadcast it. Is that an opportunity for a buyer or what?
It smells like an opportunity when you see it. Passes in at auction, it seems to be the prime time to jump in on a property.
Tell us more.
So it's a really interesting topic. So today we're going to be talking, obviously, identifying motivated sellers, and it sounds like almost too good to be true if you can find out where they are. And also speaking a little bit about auctions and when properties sell at auction or if they pass in at auction, what that means as well. And it's really, really interesting because I find that exactly like you said there, Mark, when a property passes in at auction, I find that's when buyers, sometimes they outsmart themselves, to be honest. Sometimes buyers, that's the time if I was a buyer, I'd be jumping in on a property going, okay, well, what's the price? What's going to buy it? And I find sometimes still buyers sit back on their haunches and go, no, I'm going to wait still. And we go, well, what are you going to wait for? I'm just going to wait. And it's this thing, you want to wait, but you don't want to wait too long.
So to give you an idea, One Bix Road, this is going to be a real life working example today, guys and girls. It passed in at auction on the weekend, no bids. And I want everyone to watch this property in the next 48 hours because see if I'm right, because I reckon there's a beautiful opportunity straight after that auction where you can actually sit down with a genuine seller and have a genuine on-the-spot conversation about what's going to buy the property and do that deal right there, right then. Sometimes property purchasing gets really complicated. People always dream about, like, I know there's people that always talk about, I want to buy a mortgagee possession, I want to buy a real bargain. Look, at the end of the day, you want the transaction to be easy and you want good value. I believe if a property is not sold at auction, the window that 6 hours after is the best opportunity to jump in on a property and have a real McCoy conversation with that seller and get a genuinely good buy on the spot.
I agree. And what you will find afterwards, and I know this will probably be a little bit contrary to what a lot of people are hoping to hear, if you leave it too long after, and it's exactly happened with this property here, it heats up off the back of it. And it's counterintuitive. It doesn't make sense. If a property's passed in at auction, why would it heat up? Why would there be more interest afterwards? But the bottom line is people want what other people want. And at auction, to give you an idea, when we had registered bidders there, no one wants to be the person to put forward the first bid. Everyone wants to sit around, oh, no one else is bidding, I'm not going to bid either. Straight away after the auction, we had people that were taking through for private inspections. I was there a lot yesterday on Sunday as well, taking people through. People had been through for the first time through this property. They hadn't been through during the course of the campaign. And now all of a sudden, we've got offers on the table. We've got multiple interested parties. And then this is looking like it'll close out over the next 24, 48 hours for quite a fair price as well.
If you think about it, there's not enough time when you look at a property not selling at auction. There's really not. It's not really getting much oxygen to straight after the auction. What I mean by that is when everyone finds out it has sold, when it hits realestate.com, when it hits domain, when a price gets put on it, it's probably sort of like maybe Sunday. And then by then people think, oh, I'll go see it Monday, Tuesday. By then they're rolling into Wednesday, Saturday, and then they buy. So there's that beautiful little opportunity. I'm going to say it straight after the auction, where I think it hasn't had a lot of oxygen to sell, and a buyer can jump in there and actually get a really, really good buy. And I don't think there is a better opportunity in that real estate transaction for a good buy in any real estate transaction then straight, if it doesn't sell at auction, straight after that auction, that's 6 hours. I don't think there's a more ripe moment for a buyer.
Yeah, I agree, because after you leave it, and this is the thing as well, because the nature of auctions, not everyone likes auctions. So there's a lot of very serious buyers out there in the marketplace that either A, aren't in a financial position to bid at an auction, or B, just go, no, it's my personal philosophy. I'll buy a property, I'll pay a fair price for it, but I will never go to an auction. Some people are just like that. And what happens is after an auction passes in, and we see it time and time again, it's happening with this property as well, these people come out of the woodwork, we have conversations with them, and that's why you'll find that a lot of the time, provided a property is priced fairly, it will sell within that week after the auction. The only times it really tends not to is if it's just too far away from what a vendor's expectations are to the market.
And after that auction, again, guys, if you've just tuned in, we're talking about there being no better ripe time to buy a property than if it does not sell straight after the auction. A lot of the problems that buyers have is price discovery. They want to know what the owner would accept, and often that's pre-auction, that's a hard number to get out of the seller. Post-auction, if it doesn't sell, that is such an easy number to get out of the seller. So you've got the capacity of making the negotiations so goddamn simple straight after that auction. It works beautifully. So I can't encourage people to jump in at a better time than if a property doesn't sell. And sometimes the question I always get asked with properties like that is, why didn't it sell? Why should I buy it if no one else wants to buy it?
It's the golden question, is it? And then on the flip side, as soon as we start getting offers on properties, that's when everyone else wants to jump in. And you're like, but guys, you had opportunity before when there was no offers. No, I want to wait till everyone else starts offering, because I'm happy to pay more, because then I know that there's that social proof that people are willing to pay. It's the most interesting phenomenon that we see. And it's the whole thing under the auction floor as well. When there's multiple people bidding at an auction, people are willing to go higher, versus when there's no one bidding at an auction. That's the time that as a buyer you should be dreaming of. Great, I can put in a decent bid. I don't have to pay overs for a property, and I'll have a chance of maybe securing it on the floor. It's very interesting, the psychology of it, of people feeling safe when there's other people wanting it as well.
I've got a client that does this cleanup like a champion. Is an older Greek client that goes to all the major auction houses in Sydney, whether it's Collier's, CBRE, whoever it may be, turns up, just watches what's happening, and when he smells blood in the water, he'll buy. So seriously cashed up. No rules on where he wants to buy, but if he sees extreme value, he's there. It is, and I guess the art of what I'm talking about today is you've got to be ready to go. You've got to have the funds approved.
100%. You got to be ready. Luke said there, if no one attends, you have a week or two. It's case by case, exactly, Luke. If there's interest there, it moves quickly. If there's not as much interest there, it takes longer. But the golden opportunity is you've got to still start that conversation. You just don't want to wait around with it. With the seller that's motivated to sell at a fair price, it's going to move quickly. And we see it happen time and time again. So guys, for those of you that just tuned in today, we're talking about finding ultra-motivated sellers, finding opportunities in the property market to buy, at auction, post-auction. And really, the key is you got to be in it to win it. I would always be, if you're looking at a property, come along to the auction on the day, always be registered in the position to go. Because the bottom line is, and I'm sure a lot of people don't want to hear this, there is no such thing as an absolute bargain, like dirt cheap bargain on the northern beaches. Some properties sell more expensive, some sell cheaper, but there's no such thing as a property selling 50% under market value for a standard residential property, or 40% under market value. It just doesn't happen. There's enough demand out there their property, or nor are vendors that desperate that even if the bank was repossessing the home, they're not going to sell more than 10, 15% on the market anyway, because even if you took the deposit off someone, they're not going to, it's not worth selling for even cheaper than that. So if you can find a good property at a relatively fair price.
And if you look at the one that we sold in 65 Samuel Street, if it gets enough oxygen after the auction, when it passes in, it can get a superior price than before or during the auction. So the one in Samuel Street actually got a corker of a sales price 10 days after it passed in an auction. So what I'm suggesting today is, if you want a good buy, you jump into that auction. If it doesn't sell, straight after it doesn't sell, literally hours. That's good buying, ladies and gentlemen. And that's all I got to say.
That's it. Brilliant. Hopefully it's been a bit informative, guys. Thank you.
Hopefully. And you know what? You can always call us and ask questions if you've got anywhere you're in Sydney, guys. We're here to help.
Correct. And guys, what we're trying to give here as well is we're not trying to sell a particular property with it. We're not trying to sell an idea or a strategy with it. We're just talking genuinely what we see on the ground as real estate agents as the best possible time with it, to try and give that information out there. The bottom line is all properties sell. They always sell. It's just about, as a buyer, trying to jump in at the right time.
And it's just an opportunity that I can clearly see that I think people should jump on, that I wanted to surface. So have a good day, have a good week.
Thank you. See you guys.
See you guys.